Dear learners, welcome back to the session. In today's session, we'll be studying about different types of motivation. The learning outcome for the session are to recall the definition of motivation, to learn and understand about types of motivation, to describe the ways or techniques to motivate employees. Before we understand what are types of motivation, let's revise definition of motivation again. So motivation is defined as the process that initiates, guides and maintains goal-oriented behavior. Motivation is a need or desire that energizes behavior and it directs towards the goal. For any organization, motivation is important for the betterment of the organization, and it is the process which helps the employees to work in a better form. So let's understand what are the different types of motivation. The first type of motivation is intrinsic motivation. The act of being motivated by internal factors to perform certain actions and behavior is called as intrinsic motivation. There is neither pressure nor any sort of reward for the action you perform due to intrinsic motivation. It is deep-rooted within us, and it can take the form of motivation by the work itself when individuals feel that their work is important, interesting and challenging and provides them with a reasonable degree of autonomy. Autonomy is freedom to act, opportunities to achieve and advance and scope to use and develop their skills and abilities. So below are the examples of intrinsic motivation, that is acceptance. We all need to feel that we, as well as our decisions, are accepted by the co-workers. Plus, curiosity. We all have the desire to be known. And honor. We all need to respect the rules and to be ethical. And this is what leads to the internal motivation of the employee. Our next type of motivation is extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation means that the individual's motivation stimuli are coming from outside. It definitely means that it is concerned with external motivators which the employees enjoy, and it is external in nature. The most well-known and the most debated motivation is money. Examples for extrinsic motivation are retirement plans, fringe benefits, health and insurance schemes, holiday, vacations, etc. These motivations or these motivators are mainly associated with the financial reward. The next type of motivation is positive motivation. Let's understand what is it. So positive motivation is a process wherein we influence others to achieve the goals by offering rewards, incentives or possibility of gain in the form of praise, prestige, status, promotion or paycheck. This kind of motivation definitely leads to good team spirit, cooperation and feeling of happiness. Our next type of motivation is negative or fear motivation. Let's understand what it is. So negative or fear motivation is based on force, fear or punishments. Negative motivation means the act of forcing employees to work by means of threat or punishment. It involves disciplinary actions. And for example, In terms of monetary, it is fines or penalties or pay cuts that you have to pay for the wrong action. In the form of non-monetary, it involves demotion, threat of dismissal from the job, transfer to remote areas and group rejection. Hence, negative motivation is not really a good practice. However, sometimes manager may be compelled to use this technique with the view to prevent from undesirable behavior in order to avoid any kind of negative impact on the productivity. Having this particular motivation causes a person to act in a certain manner because they are afraid of consequences if they don't act in the certain manner. And next type of motivation is self-motivation. Self-motivation is a power that drives the employees to move forward and act. It is basically means to realize any set of goals by the human beings. It is basically creating initiative and being initiative within oneself and understanding the abilities and competencies to achieve the goals for the organization. One has to make sure that one can motivate oneself before others, and it is very important to motivate oneself by creating a certain objective and goals. Our next form of motivation is group motivation. People can be motivated by encouraging and making the employees feel that they are the part of the group. Group motivation also gives them opportunity to improve the performance by having open feedback and also by giving the compliments if the performance is really good. A group can help the individual to build up the spirit, moral and satisfy the social need in the human beings. Plus, having group motivation also makes sure that each member of the team is properly motivated and is aware of the objectives and goals. Our next type of motivation is financial motivators. So the financial motivators may be in the form of wages, salary or profits, and they completely lead to monetary benefits. They also can be connected directly or indirectly with the money. In the form of indirectly with the money, it relates to giving prestige or recognition or symbol of achievement. The next form of motivation is non-financial motivators. These are not connected with the monetary gains. They are rewards of enhanced position, satisfy the security needs, example praise, prestige, appraisals, job enlargement, job rotation, job enrichment, and so on. Now, let's understand ways or techniques to motivate the employees. The first technique is financial initiatives. Financial initiatives or money is loved by everyone. It also, or giving financial initiatives, fulfills psychological safety and status needed by the people, as they can satisfy their needs by money. And hence, your financial initiatives can be wages or salary that motivates employees to perform better. The next technique is job enlargement. It means, under this technique, tasks assigned to do the job are increased by the similar task, and the scope of job enlargement is high for the motivation of the subordinates. It is also known as horizontally leading of the job. It basically means that you can empower the employees by giving them the job and also making sure that they have the authority and responsibility towards it. The next technique is by job enrichment. Under this technique, jobs are made challenging and meaningful by increasing the responsibility and growing opportunity. In such technique of motivation, planning and control and responsibility are added. Plus, it is with less supervision and more self-evaluation. It definitely gives gives employee the confidence to grow. The next technique is job rotation. It refers to shifting an employee from one job to another. Such job rotation does not mean hanging off their job by one employees that are rotated, but it basically means that it is multitasking and the employee can learn several jobs in which he can definitely help with the development of the employees. The next is participation. Participation refers to the involvement of employees in planning and decision making. It helps the employees feel that they are an asset of the organization, which helps them in developing the ideas to solve the problem. Delegation of authority. Delegation of authority is concerned with granting of the authority to the subordinates, which help in developing the feeling of dedication to work in organization because it provides the employee high morale to perform any task. It makes them feel responsible. Then the next technique is quality of work. It definitely means that the management should make sure that the working conditions are adequate and favorable for the growth of the employee, and hence have all the tools to get the job done to achieve the goals. It definitely also integrates employee needs and well-beings to improve the productivity, higher job satisfaction, and great employee involvement. The next one is management by the objectives. It is the technique where supervisors need to set individual and organizational goals. Individual responsibilities are clearly defined, which will help them to identify the skill set that is required to meet the goals, and it will help in function of the organization effectively. The last one is behavior modification. It is the motivation technique where you develop positive motivation to the employees or towards the workers so that they work in the right manner to fulfill the requirement of the organizational goals. Here are the references. Thank you. I request students of AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune, to click on the link given in the description below to take the quiz on types of motivation. Thank you and happy learning.